Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're catching this broadcast. I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jay Moore, your healthy accountant. And today I want to welcome you to the Enlightenment broadcast here on Facebook. And today we'll be talking about how to change your finances. How to change your finances. Now, here's the thing. It's probably not going to be anything that you're thinking about, but how to change your finances. All right. So I recently reconnected with a friend of mine. We worked together. We worked together in the past a few times actually, and so we connected last year sometime. I would always catch up with him, follow up, from time to time, and so we connected last year. And so we finally got together. And decided we're going to work together again. And so we were talking about some things that's happened in his life, in his business, what's going on. And the question that came up is, Jay, when I fail or when things don't work out, I can't seem to stop. I just keep going. And this is what I told him. I said, the funny thing is that you keep going, but you don't go smaller. A lot of time people, when they fail at something or something doesn't work out, the next time that they go after it, they get a little bit more reserved. They decide that, what, I'm going to go a little bit smaller. I didn't make it to the big time the last time, and so I'm going to go ahead and do it small or a little bit smaller. But on the contrary, he does it the opposite. He goes bigger just about every time he goes after something. And I said, man, that's something. I said, and so he's just like, Jay, I don't know what it is. He says, I said, man, that has to do with something that you're gifted at, like you're gifted at something. And, something happened to you at some point in your life that's got you to the point where you push no matter what, even when times are bad, he pushes. He keeps going. He's in a good situation now. His company, has got one of the largest contracts. He does construction on a project that he's working on, just over 10 million contract, and he's just like, wow, and things seem to be just working out now. But it wasn't always like that. It was not always like that. And I can tell you, when we first started working together, it's now 2019, I believe it was around 2003, 2004. So look at that. Look how much time has gone past. Just at 2004, you're talking about 15 years, 2003, 16 years. Look at how much time has gone past. He hasn't, his businesses hadn't done that much. His businesses had done well at one point, and but they didn't always last. But how do you change your finances? How do you change your financial picture? It's an interesting thing that just happened this morning, as my son was leaving out to school. Just before he went out to school, I went to his room and had some dialogue. Realized something happened. Something happened that shouldn't have happened. And what I said to him, and it started to ring out in my mind. I said to him, I said, man, something you're listening to doesn't have you in tune with what we're about. And as I thought about what I said after he left, and as I was, going to come on here, I said, something you're listening to doesn't have you in tune to what we're about. Then I said, wait a second, what is that really saying? See, there's things that you are listening to. There's things that I'm listening to. And I told my friend that, I said, man, I said, when things fell apart for me, I went smaller. Something that I was listening to sent me the other way. I said, wow. So here's the thing. There's something in your life that's got you off the frequency to change your finances. There's something in your life that's got you on a different note, different tune to get your finances to the next level. There's something that's causing you, even me, not to move, not to do what it is that you have to do because you're not in tune. Something is pulling you away as opposed to pushing you ahead. See, changing your finances, what I've learned about this, you could get the right tactic. You could get the right tactic. I could show you Facebook ads. You know what I'm saying? You could create videos. You could start doing email marketing. You could create landing pages. You could have sales funnels. And you would still be on the wrong frequency. See, a friend of mine just yesterday, one of my good friends, we spend time together every day, just, pouring into each other, asking questions, making sure that we're growing. And so he asked me some questions yesterday that was really, really, really good. And what he said as we was wrapping up this call, he says, "Man, Jay, you got a sweet spot that you haven't even tapped into." I'm like, man, that's interesting, man. I was just reading that in one of my books about the sweet spot that everybody has. But here's the thing, a lot of times you don't know what your sweet spot is. Sometimes you may need somebody to say, hey, look at that right there. I bet you if you went right there, that'd be yours. That's your spot. That's your sweet spot. But a lot of times we're running around, we're doing all these other things, and you're not on the right frequency. You're not in the right spot. You're competing with other people. Everyone else is doing accounting. I'm talking about there's millions and millions of accounts. There's millions of real estate people. There's millions and millions and millions of people that are doctors and lawyers. Millions, tons. But where's your sweet spot? You want to change your finances. It's not about the strategy. It's the sweet spot. It's where you go in, that's yours. I'm talking about there's no competition in this spot. This spot sits alone waiting for you. You're like, well, Jay, how do I get to the spot? Well, here's how you get to the spot. Man, you got to figure out who you are. You got to figure out your gifts, your purpose. You got to figure out exactly where you're headed. What was the original intent for your life when your life was thought of? Well, here's some sad news. Many, many, many people, it's way more than millions of people. There's probably a number that we can't even count that have left this earth never to find their sweet spot, never to live the life that they wanted to live. Never, ever. See, changing your finances, the funny thing about changing your finances is it's not always about getting a new job. It's not always about starting a new business. It's not always about getting the right tactic and strategy. Like I said, I've had strategies that didn't work. You've had strategies that didn't work. It's not like the person says, hey, Jay, I tried exactly what you told me to do and it didn't work. This happens every single day. Look, I've been in coaching programs where people would say, man, you know what? This thing that the coach is teaching didn't work for me. But I said, well, it worked for me. So sometimes what happens is we don't realize that strategies and tactics, yes, they help. But when you understand who you are, the sweet spot that you should be in, man, when you find the sweet spot, what happens is there's no limit. There's no limit to how your finances are going to change. None. Zip. You don't even have to go into the sweet spot thinking, man, how am I going to do it? Because what happens is it's like automatically the right people show up. The right people just show up and they're like, oh my goodness. They're like, wow, I've been looking for you all my life. You get to a point where someone will say, I've been looking for you all my life and I finally found you. You offer exactly what I have to have. That's what they'll say to you. Now, The thing about this sweet spot, and I already touched on it. If you don't find out exactly who you are, if you don't find out exactly what the original intent is for your life, see, you may be able to change your finances. Like you may be able to go from, a $50,000 job to $80,000 job. You might be able to do that. But let me tell you something. That's not really most people, especially in the Washington D.C. area. If they make $100,000, there's a lot of people that make $100,000. They're not rich. They have enough money. They have enough money to take care of what they take care of, and sometimes that's not even enough. But they have enough money typically to have a car, have a house, take care of the kids, have food, go on vacation. But they don't have. They don't. It's not like they're rich and they could go out and take care of families. Mm-mm. Not in this area. Maybe somewhere else. If someone got 100,000, made 100,000 a year, but all they needed was 500 a month. Now that person's rich. That person has a lot. Think about a person that only needs about $500 a month to take care of their life, and making $100,000. That's a lot. Now that person can do something. Now here's the thing. What are they going to do? What would they do? I don't know. But if it's a job, if you're making $100,000 on a job, there's not much you can do except, you could give money away. But if you make $100,000 in a business and all you need is $500 and it doesn't cost you anything else, then you can go and hire people. You can go and hire a couple of people to do stuff so that you can now take what you have, and then maybe if you hired 2 people, you could grow to $200,000 or $300,000. Then you can hire 2 or 3 more people to go to $400,000 and $500,000. Do you think you'll be making an impact not just in your finances, but you'll be making an impact in families? That's the purpose. That's why you want to change your finances. You wouldn't want to change your finances just so you can say you got more money, would you? You wouldn't want to change your finances just so that you could have more stuff, would you? You wouldn't want to change your finances just so you can look good so everybody else can say, man, he's doing well. You wouldn't want that. No, you're not that kind of person. So yeah, you're the kind of person that would want to change their finances so that they can do what I just said, hire some people, help somebody else, grow a community, you know, create a food bank or something. Create things. That's why you want to have money. That's why you would want to change your finances. But a lot of times, people want to change their finances specifically just for themselves. Oh, I just want more. Oh, I just want cars, new houses and stuff. Now, those things are great, and yes, you should have them. But if that's all that there's going to be, then it's going to be even more challenging. But if you want to change your finances for real, if you want to change your finances and really take yourself to the next level, you got to find your sweet spot. You got to find out who you are. You got to find out what the original intent was for your life. Purpose. Got to find out what you're capable of. That's right. Got to have a vision. You want to create a vision of your life and have a mission that you live by, principles that you stand on. Change your finances. Change your finances. Change your life. Change lives around you. That's what you should do. And I know you can do it. Find your sweet spot. It's all wrapped up in your gift. It's all wrapped up into you changing into the person that you were supposed to be from the beginning. All right, guys, I thank you so much for joining me today for this enlightenment broadcast. The title of my broadcast today was How to Change Your Finances. And I want to definitely thank you so much for being part of this. My name is Jay Moore, your healthy accountant. And I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. God bless you.